What we're going to talk about right now is China's One Belt, One Road initiative. Now, it's a very ambitious project that China has, and it has to do with their manifest destiny. The Chinese have a plan. They're going to revalue gold at a certain point once they've got it all. You know, and at that point, they're gonna revalue gold. This has been the plan all along. They've been taking the gold from the west, shipping it east. They've been resmelting it down into 1 kilogram bars. They've got quite literally thousands and thousands and thousands of these 1 kilogram bars ready to go. Now they're springing this One Belt, One Road initiative on us. What is this initiative? You all might have heard of it, but you don't really know what it is. A lot of people don't know what it is. It's $1,000 billion U.S. Actually, 1,100 billion. $1.1 trillion that they're going to spend on this. Now, I have a map of this here, and I'm going to go through it very carefully and show you what they're trying to do. Essentially, they're trying to take over. There's been other world empires in the past. There was a Persian Empire, took over the world. There was a Roman Empire, took over the world. This has happened before in the past, and this is what they're trying to do with this manifest destiny. They want to become a world empire, and that's what you're actually looking at on this map, right here in front of you, is their plan for this world empire. Now, what you actually are seeing here is akin to a circulatory system in a body. And just like the body circulates blood and the kidneys expel urine and so on and so forth, what you're looking at is a large plans for a large circulatory system for the Chinese in their plans of world conquest, taking over the world. So what we notice here is all the way down to Spain. You see that dotted line? If you look far to your east, I mean to the west, far to the west on the map, you see Spain. You see that dotted line? That's railroad. And that's to bring goods in from Western Europe into China. Also, to distribute goods from China to Western Europe. You don't see any distribution lines on this map anywhere to the United States. And the reason why is because they intend on making in the United States a banana republic, a third world country. And they want to take over and make this area where you see the first world. And the rest of the world is going to be in subservience to what they show on this map. So if you live anywhere else other than what you see on this map, you're going to be in subservience. In other words, you're going to be servants of the first world, which is going to be centered in China. This is going to be the new global infrastructure network that China aims to build. The One Belt, One Road, the new Silk Road. This is going to be the power of the world. This is what they plan. So you see this railway. It comes through Madrid. It goes through Rotterdam to Hamburg, up through Poland, up through Warsaw, up through Moscow. This is one of their routes that they're planning to flow this blood. It's like blood, but it's actually a money route where they're going to bring goods in and move goods out. Now, if you look closely at this map, you see that's one route coming up through Kazakhstan, down through right into China. And then there's a second route here coming through Tehran and through the Middle East to Ankara to Istanbul and in near Greece. Now you notice these two routes loop together through Moscow. To see where they loop together, look at Moscow. And you see Moscow? You find it yet? Now, if you see in Moscow, you see a horseshoe-shaped brown trail there. Looks like a trail. It's horseshoe-shaped. Going right through Moscow. It goes over to Warsaw. Do you see it? And it comes down to Istanbul. Do you see it? And then it proceeds to move down through Tehran, and it proceeds to move over through all the way into China. If you look down on the map here, you'll see that they call that the Silk Road Economic Belt. This is the most important part to the Chinese. Now, what I want you to notice here is from Moscow, it runs down through Poland to Warsaw. And then it connects up with the railways that connect into Europe. And then it loops around and comes down through the center of Ukraine, down through to Istanbul, skirting along the edges of Romania and Moldova. This is intriguingly important to them to control this route. They have to control this route from Warsaw up to Moscow and down to Istanbul. And then once they get past Istanbul into Turkey and into Tehran, right, in Iran, then they already have this in their pocket, because Iran and Russia work together already. Now, where's the problem going to be for them here? The problem is going to be, in completing this route, is going to be the NATO countries that they have to move this route through. They don't have control over the NATO countries. And I'll list the NATO countries that they don't have control over. Poland. Right? Now, you see where the route comes down through Ukraine? The brown? Right? That's not a Warsaw country. That's not going to be a problem. The second problem that they're going to have is the edge of where it comes down through, after it passes Moldova, it comes down through Romania. That's going to be a problem. And the third is Greece. Right there where it loops down into Greece. Once it makes it past Istanbul into Turkey, they're okay again. Now, Turkey's a NATO country. Well, I shouldn't say it's okay again, but we'll see, because Erdogan is in control over Turkey. And so we'll have to wait and see. But they have huge plans for Turkey. If you look here, you'll see that the Silk Road is showing us a big, wide red belt right through Turkey. Right? So this is their plans. So it goes right up through Istanbul and Ankara. It turns northward, and it heads up through Romania. And then it goes through Ukraine, all the way up to Moscow. Then it turns, and it comes down through to Warsaw. And it heads right in through Germany. But it's a railway line through Germany. And it's going to suck goods out of those countries all the way down to Spain on that side. So now, there's other parts to it too. Those are the primary routes from west to east that I showed you. They're also putting in a route down to Pakistan from Kashgar. See it? That red route going down through to Pakistan, right through the mountains and everything. All the way, and it ends at Gwadar. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that exactly correctly. Then there's another route that they're going to be putting in from It's just amazing to me. Honest to goodness, this is amazing to me that they can even do this for $1 trillion. What they're planning here, because this is so ambitious. This is so completely ambitious of the Chinese. This and another route coming in from Singapore all the way up into China. This is such an ambitious project. I got to tell you, another route coming up through Mongolia, if you see there. If they can complete this, it'll make China the richest country on earth. They'll outstrip America easily. If they can complete this. This, to me, when I look at it, I see nothing but a world empire being built. And a very ambitious project at that. You know, and tremendously ambitious. I have to hand it to the Chinese. You know, this is very ambitious, what they're trying to do. They're trying to build a world empire. And let's see where some of these other routes go. There's Vietnam. Where's North and South Korea on here? In relationship, I'm trying to look. Bangkok, Thailand, Vietnam, Myanmar, Malaysia, Singapore. They got a route running to India, and a route running to Pakistan, and see, there's North Korea, right in that area. I don't see where they got a route running to South Korea. I don't see where they're putting in any routes to South Korea or to Malaysia. But these are all friends, and no route, there's nothing going to, absolutely nothing going to Japan. They got nothing on here going to Japan. No plans for Japan whatsoever. You know? And it looks to me like Singapore, though, is a big target. Route going to Singapore. So these are the countries that are going to be left out in the cold, in the new trade, the new world order of trade deals, which is going to be what they're planning here. There's going to be countries left out in the cold. And those countries basically are going to be, even Africa here. They've got routes leading down to Africa through Sri Lanka, and they're going to haul goods out, shipping routes. You see in the blue here is planned or under construction shipping routes. They're going to ship right down through the Suez Canal, right up through Greece, up to Venice. And one of their big shipping routes they're going to put in. And that shipping route also goes down to Africa, down around Somalia and Ethiopia, and it catches all the way down almost to South Africa. So this is tremendously ambitious. World conquest, world domination, a world empire that they're planning on building. These projects are to be planned and completed. It says right here on their map, it says China aims to build a global infrastructure network. You know, with the Silk Road Initiative, one built, one road. It means America's out. They're not going to have any road, because China's got the one road, one belt. You either do business with them or you don't do business. This is what we're coming down to with this. So you've heard me tell you before that China's not your friends. And the reason why is they plan on making you poor. China doesn't plan on killing you. North Korea plans on killing you. But China doesn't plan on killing you. China plans on making a slave out of you. That's why I say they're not your friends. And you know what? All of our governments over here in the West have played into their hands. The people that we've put in charge, the people that we've given the fox charge of the hen house. And they've betrayed us. They've stabbed us in the back. They've reapothecated all of our gold, which basically amounts to, I'll explain to you what they do. They're in charge over our gold. We put them in charge. We say, okay, you're the lawmaker, you're the official. You're our leader. You know? And then what they do is they say, oh yeah, we're in charge of the gold now, aren't we? You know? They say, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to lease it. Well, it sounds great, doesn't it? And they make all kinds of great excuses why they're going to lease it out. They say, well, it's going to cost a lot less because now we don't have to keep it in the vaults or anything else. And don't worry, when the lease expires, we'll buy it back on the open market for probably less than we paid for it. Because by leasing it out, the price will come down on gold. And then we'll have to pay less, you know, when we go to buy it back, say 10 years from now. And it all looks well and good. And they sign the papers off to lease it out, right? And they put it on the market, and sure enough, it sells, and the price of gold drops like a stone, you know? So all that gold goes on the market. Guess who buys it all up? You got it. The one belt, one road. They buy it all up, right? So now it's all gone over to China. It's all been resmelted into these 1 kilogram bars. Now, what happens when those leases expire and they have to get the gold back by law? The Chinese are going to say, hey, you know what? You sold us that gold fair and square, but you want it back, right? Or they say, you got a printing press, is that right? You guys got a printing press? And we got the gold. And by your law, you have to buy it back. You have to. The Chinese start rubbing their hand together. Do you know what they've given the Chinese? They've given them a blank check. That's what they've given them, a blank check. What do you think that that's going to do when the Queen has to get her gold back, when the lease expires? What do you think that's going to do to the British pound when the Chinese have a blank check? And by law, they have to replace those bars. They're big bars. I think they're 400 ounces each. You remember back when silver was $30 an ounce and gold was like $1,900? That's when they sold like 1,500 tons, leased it into the market. They call it leasing it. It's actually selling it into the market. But what do you think when the lease expires and they have to get that gold back by law and it's British pounds? And they have to, and the Chinese got it, and they have to have it back. And it's a blank check for the Chinese. The Chinese can say anything that they want to say, price. There's your gold going up like no tomorrow, and what's that going to do to your price of your pounds? I just can't begin to tell you. And all this is going to hit. It's all bound to come because they've reapothecated and China's now got it all. This is all part of the plan to bring down the West and make us all debt servants to this one belt, one road initiative. You want to do trade, you're going to have to do it through China. I must say that the Chinese are very intelligent and very smart. Do not underestimate them. They will make slaves out of all of us over here in the West and never have to fire a shot. And this is why I tell you, you know, and it's not the Chinese that's threatening to bomb us. It's North Korea. They're the guys over there saying they're going to bomb us. You know? So here's the plan right here. And you can see what they're trying to do. Right in front of your nose. And they're so far into this plan already that it might be complete already. It might not be any point in arguing over it. Over here in the West, when the financial system and this whole big plan that the elites have had to bring down our financial system is playing right into the hands of the Chinese. Ultimately, you know, it's a dagger in the back of the people in the West, and it's actually going to bring us down. All their stupidity, all their derivative products that they've created, everything that they've done is all just going to break down Western society and make China the leaders of the world. You know? So thank you very much for listening. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next article. Bye.